Shallow Hal is the title of a movie that was produced in 2001. It was about a man who falls in love with a 300-pound woman because he sees her in her beauty. Before meeting this woman, Hal had standards for a woman's appearance before dating. The movie had a great lesson that Jesus teaches us in John chapter 6, verses 60 to 71. It is not the physical beauty that matters, but rather it's the inward beauty that matters. Unfortunately, we are all living creatures, and appearance does matter to us. When I taught presentation skills, I gave the participants a few things to do before they started teaching a class for a group of participants who did not know who the teacher was. The first is to dress one level above the class. A class of professionals would dress in business clothing or business casual today. Therefore, if the instructor is a man, a sport coat and a tie with long sleeve shirt is the best. Now, a man can always dress down by taking off the tie and the coat. It was more difficult for the women because it was harder to dress down. The impression of professionalism is essential. I offered the following recommendation: that the teacher stand in front of the class with nothing blocking the student's view. Class needs about 10 seconds to see the entire figure of the teacher. First impression is then made. If the teacher introduces him or herself behind a podium, the students get a different impression and they wonder what the teacher is hiding. Society has established dress codes for different occasions. Men and women dress differently depending on purpose of the exercise. If the objective is to go to a bar and meet people, the dress code is different than if they're going to the gym. The first impression, based on looks, is part of the flesh. It's who we are. It is the basis of the animal kingdom. The more muscular, good-looking male is the one that usually gets to pass along his DNA. Jesus directly approaches this situation. He states that the physical is not what is most important. It is the spiritual aspects of the soul that matter. He also tells us that it is more important to feed the spiritual part than the physical part. The mystics believe that there are 5 parts to the human soul. The physical body is 1/5 of the soul. Even though the physical body is essential and must be maintained, spiritual development is most important. Therefore, if you have an opportunity to work on your spirituality or your physical body, the best is to work on your spiritual body. The care of the spiritual body will be reflected in the physical body. So we are to attend to the spiritual parts of the soul. Our person's inner beauty is 4/5 of our soul. So it's important to remember this. The lesson from the movie Shallow Hal is that the individual person, the spirit, is more important than physical looks. I had a friend in college who developed a list of what his future wife had to have. The first 6 entries were physical appearance. He eventually found that woman and married her, and luckily for him, their spirits meshed and their marriage went well. Perhaps the large number of divorces in the United States is because people look at the physical appearance and not the spiritual. The bar scene in most big cities has a collection of well-dressed, sexy people looking for a partner. And many people find a partner by looks. These relationships are usually superficial because they never look inside the person to gain an understanding of their spirit. Jesus tells us to let go of the superficial attributes that do not last long. A life partner's choice should be based on the couple's spirits. Jesus knows that we need to find a life journey partner. In addition, the relationships should be one of love and generosity. Do not let physical appearance be your criterion for selecting a life partner. If you do use physical appearance, you may find yourself alone after a few years. Maybe it is good that there are no actual images of Jesus. I mean, there's plenty of church versions of Jesus, but none directly of him. And this forces us to be in a relationship with Jesus through his words and actions. It does not matter what Jesus looked like. It did not matter if he was tall or short or fat or skinny. He was Jesus, the one who taught us to care for our bodies and soul. When you think about Jesus, give thought to his loving and caring spirit, which will love you if you love him. God bless you for listening to this message, and I hope it helps you in some way or form. And as always, shalom.